navigating cycles of negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be one of the biggest barriers to your progress. It can make you feel like a failure and lead you to short cycles of abandoning the healthy changes you're working so hard to build. But here's the truth. Everyone experiences negative self-talk at times. It's what you do with those thoughts that matters. So what is negative self-talk? Negative self-talk is that inner voice that criticizes, doubts, or sometimes belittles you. It often sounds like, I'm never going to lose weight. I have no willpower. I always fail at diets, or I'm not good enough. These thoughts may feel true in the moment, but first of all, feelings are not facts. They are simply stories your mind is telling you. Again, not facts. But why does negative self-talk happen? Your brain is wired to protect you from failure and danger. When you step outside of your comfort zone, like making changes to your eating habits or focusing on your health, your brain often reacts with fear and self-doubt. This is completely normal, but it can create a cycle that keeps you stuck. For example, you set a goal, for example, eating better, losing weight. You hit a bump, you overeat, you miss a workout, something doesn't go to plan. Your inner critic jumps in, see, you always mess up, you feel ashamed or defeated, and you give up or go back to old habits. Now, here's how we break that cycle. To break the pattern, you need to learn how to manage negative self-talk. Here's how. There's a few steps. The first is we've got to notice it. Become aware of the negative voice in your head. You can't change it if you don't recognize it. So pay attention to when you feel frustrated, defeated, or guilty. These are often triggers for negative self-talk. So that's the first. Become aware, become mindful, notice it. Second, we need to name it. When you catch that critical voice, label it. Oh, that's my inner critic talking again, right? By naming it, you create distance between you and the thought. Next, we want to question it. As the thought enters your mind, practice looking at it for a minute and remind yourself, nearly all negative thoughts of self are catastrophized versions of reality. The thought is real, but it's not true. Feelings are not facts. A healthy way to reframe is, what would I say to a friend if they were thinking this about themselves? What would I say to my son, to my daughter, if they were thinking this about themselves? What would I say to my grandson, my granddaughter, if they were thinking this about themselves? Most of the time, you'll realize your inner critic is exaggerating or simply just being, hugely unfair, right? So next, after that, we want to reframe it. Replace the negative thought with a more balanced and compassionate statement. Instead of, I always fail, say, I had a setback, but that doesn't erase my progress. Instead of, I have no willpower, say, I am learning how to manage my cravings better every day. Instead of, I'll never get there, say, progress takes time. I'm moving forward even when it's slow. Don't let negative thoughts lead you to short cycles of giving up. Focus on the next positive action you can take, whether it's drinking a glass of water, prepping a healthy meal, or getting outside for a healthy walk. Small actions rebuild your confidence and remind you that one slip up doesn't define you. All right, now, one key reminder here. You are not your thoughts. Negative self-talk is just a noise. You get to decide whether you believe it or let it go. Each time you challenge that inner critic, you become stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to reach your goals. Now, a little reflection exercise. Take a moment to think about your own patterns of negative self-talk. When does your inner critic show up most? What are the most common negative thoughts you hear about self? How can you reframe those thoughts in a more compassionate way? When you get a moment, write down your answers. Awareness is the first step towards lasting change, right? Any questions about any of this? You know exactly what to do. Shoot me a message. We want to follow this strategy right here. We want to practice it. We want to get really good at it. We want to notice it. Become aware of the negative voice. We want to name it. We then want to question it. Be like, hang on, this is a real thought, but it's not me. It's not fact. It's not how I want to be. And I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to follow it. We want to reframe it, and we want to take the next step. You know, if something, you know, if this negative self-talk is a byproduct of something that perhaps didn't go to plan, that's okay. It's just one little stumble, one little bump in the road. It's not the end of the road, right? Practice talking to yourself the way, you know, you speak to your friend. Speak to yourself the way that you'd speak to your best friend or a loved one. Like I said, any questions, just shoot me a message.